Thank you, Nigeria at 65 studio, Uchenna and Lillian. And now to the news. Welcome to Global News on Signature TV. I am Christopher Lele. In the headlines, President Bola Tinubu tells Nigerians that the worst days are over, assuring them of a brighter future. Nigerians expressed mixed feelings about the Independence Day celebration. Congo's ex-president Kabila sentenced to death in absentia by military courts. And police secure Copenhagen venue ahead of EU summit. Details shortly.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking. Events occur and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.
President Bola Tinubu has assured Nigerians that the country's worst days are over and that the economic reforms of his administration are beginning to deliver results with a rising for a more prosperous nation. Delivering his national broadcast to mark the country's 65th independence anniversary, Tinubu said his administration decided to take steps that will help build a great nation over and above present-day comfort. He assured to continue to work for Nigerians to justify the confidence reposed in him to steer the ship of the nation to a safe harbor. Tinubu hailed the resilience of Nigerians, noting that the country had survived a civil war, military rule, and political crisis, and is still striving to build a more perfect union. He described the 65th anniversary as a moment for reflection on the sacrifices of the nation's founding fathers and the progress achieved since independence in 1960. The president highlighted achievements in education and healthcare, noting that Nigeria has grown from just 2 tertiary institutions at independence to 274 universities, 183 polytechnics, and 236 colleges of education by 2024.
We created NEL Fund to support students with loans for their educational pursuits. Approximately 510,000 students across 32 states of the Federation, including FCT, have benefited from this initiative, covering 228 higher institutions. As of September 10, the total loan disbursed was 99.5 billion, while the upkeep allowance stood as 44.7 billion.
Ended his economic reforms, including the removal of fuel subsidies and the unification of foreign exchange rates, which he said ended decades of distortions and rent-seeking. According to him, these difficult decisions freed resources for investment in infrastructure, education, healthcare, and social programs.
Under our leadership, our economy is recovering fast, and the reforms we started over 2 years ago are delivering tangible results. The second quarter 2025 gross domestic product grew by 4.23%. That's Nigeria's fastest pace in 4 years and outpaced the 3.4% projected by the International Monetary Fund. Inflation declined to 20.12% in August 2025, the lowest level in 3 years. The administration is working diligently to boost agricultural production and ensure food security to reducing food costs.
The president reeled out a list of 12 economic milestones achieved in the last 2 years and 4 months in office, ranging from the GDP grew by 4.23% in the second quarter of 2025, the fastest in 4 years, and the fall in the inflation figure, the lowest level in 3 years. He also noted that Nigeria had posted trade surpluses for 5 consecutive quarters, with manufactured exports up by 173% and non-oil exports now representing 48% of total trade.
In the last 2 years of our administration, we've achieved 12 remarkable economic milestones as a result of the implementation of our sound fiscal and monetary policies. We have attained a record-breaking increase in non-oil revenue, achieving 2025 target by August with over 20 trillion naira. We have restored physical health. Our debt service to revenue ratio has been significantly reduced from 97% to below 50%. We have paid down the infamous ways and means advances that threaten our economic stability and triggered inflation.
As Nigeria marks yet another Independence Day, citizens across the country are reflecting on how far the nation has come and how far it still has to go. While some see October 1st as a symbol of pride and unity, others believe the celebration calls for deeper reflection on the country's challenges and aspirations. In this report, our correspondent examines the opinions of Nigerians towards the Independence Day celebration and the outlook for the future. On October 1, 1960, the Nigeria Independence Act 1960 took effect, making Nigeria a sovereign state. Princess Alexandra of Kent, representing Queen Elizabeth II, formally presented the instruments of independence to Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa at the Lagos Race Course. The Union Jack was lowered and Nigeria's new green-white-green flag was raised, symbolizing the birth of the new nation.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
Gaining full sovereignty from the Great Britain was a paradigm shift in the history of Nigeria. Prime Minister Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa gave the first Independence Day speech after the handover.
The country which I have the honor to represent, the Federation of Nigeria, became independent and assumed the rights and the responsibilities of a sovereign state. Today, Nigeria has been admitted into the United Nations organization and assumes still more responsibilities. On behalf of my countrymen in Nigeria, I thank you all most sincerely for accepting us as a fellow member in this organization. We are properly grateful for this recognition and for the generous and friendly gesture made by so many members who sent very distinguished delegations to join us in celebrating our accession to independence.
Elder statesman and former Commissioner for Education, Dogara, narrated that the first 6 years after independence, Nigeria experienced tremendous achievements. This was, however, truncated by the 1966 military coup.
Generally, Nigerians did well. Whether it was under Nnamdi Azikiwe as Governor General, or whether it was under Para, or Sadebe, Awolowo, Akintola, Ahmadu Bello, as regional premiers, we did well. At the level of the entire country, we established 3 midway tertiary institutions, the Nigerian colleges of arts in Enugu, science in Ibadan, and technology in Zaria. Many of them have now become full-fledged universities. Come on, man. I think Nigeria did well. They showed expertise. And you can pinpoint this in the first 6 years of our independence. 1966, something happened. They thought that corruption was coming into the system of the way we govern ourselves. And that's what brought about the first coup in January 1966. That's where things started going wrong.
To many Nigerians, October 1st represents much more than just a date.
So it's a time for stock taking, a time for introspection, a time to, as you celebrate, to really do a proper stock taking. Are we where we're supposed to be? What do we need to get there as a people?
We are not where we want to be, honestly. Which should be, I think, so instead of looking at it from success, I think we should be looking at it from a perspective of a wake-up call to reflect on the journey so far and be like, 64 years, what have we achieved?
Independence is supposed to be when a hitherto colonized people became free from the rule of those who colonized them. In the case of Nigeria, from Britain.
The theme for this year's celebration is all hands on deck for a greater nation. Some citizens are of the opinion that the Independence Day celebration is not worth celebrating, citing the worsening economic hardship and insecurity ravaging the country among other factors.
To my own understanding, it's not worth celebrating because Nigeria itself is no longer a country. I don't believe Nigeria is now a country because I used to know that every 1st October, if you go inside the market, the eve of the 1st October, you will see different types of designers, green and white clothes, up top and shirts, maybe gown, white and green, and green and white. But now it's no longer like that.
Poverty everywhere, hunger. So what are we celebrating? To be honest with you, it is not worthy to be celebrated.
Since I was born till today, every year they keep telling us that things will get better, but things are not getting better. Instead of that, every day things are getting worse. Honestly speaking, there's nothing to celebrate.
Some others, however, have a contrary opinion. To them, the Independence Day celebration is worth celebrating, saying the country is better than many others, especially the war-ravaged countries.
We should celebrate because we have to also be proud of our country, patriotism, and I'm optimist. And I believe, yes, we may have problems, but there is reason to celebrate. The fact, because it could be worse. The fact that we are not at war, the fact that we can look and see also certain developments, they may be scattered and, not at the same level in different places.
Some Nigerians lament that no sector has recorded remarkable progress for decades, blaming it on failures by successive governments.
From 1960, like they told us, Nigeria got the independence. I've not seen tangible something that Nigeria have done for me personally as a citizen, not to talk more of others. The power sector is not functioning. It's not functioning.
It's a failure, to be honest with you, because if you count from resourcing Nigeria, you don't have good road, you don't have a good payment for the workers. They are being owed for some months.
On the contrary, a professor of law and woman activist, Professor Joy Ezelo, believes that the private sector has experienced more achievements since independence.
We've seen development in certain areas. I think private sector are moving faster than even the public sector. because once you open up spaces like the phones, system, communication, internet, banking, you see that they are moving and they are competing with the rest of the world.
Some respondents identify corruption as the major challenge affecting development and the economic growth of Nigeria.
The one thing or two things I think Nigeria is facing now is corruption. The country itself is corrupt. In a country where the heads and the government is corrupt, what do you expect of us, the individuals or the citizens of the country?
Yes. The challenges we are facing, let them start with that our natural resources, oil. They should allow Dangote to work very well. They should work on our refineries.
In the mood of celebration, many have sent their goodwill messages and prayers for Nigeria as she marks 65 years of independence.
So in summary, well, happy Independence Day to Nigeria. We are not where we want to be, but hopefully one day together we'll get there.
I wish Nigeria a credible level of leadership. And that credible level of leadership will come when we are able to determine those who will be leading us.
From a hopeful and promising nation at independence in 1960, Nigeria has passed through political turmoils and economic struggles, including youth unemployment and inflation challenges. As the nation continues to confront these challenges and build on its strengths, the journey of the nation remains a testament, resilience, unity, and the aspiration for a better future, as it remains a leading force in Africa and a respected voice within the community of nations. Meanwhile, citizens of Rivers State are skeptical about celebrating the occasion, calling for a better leadership to give citizens reasons to celebrate. Some residents who spoke to Signature TV expressed disappointment with the current administration, citing increasing economic hardship and a lack of tangible progress. They noted that the rising cost of living continues to weigh heavily on ordinary citizens and called for more responsive and visionary leadership to steer the country toward genuine development and improved living conditions.
Job. What are we celebrating? Where bandits are being released from prison, or innocent people are being remained in the prison. What are we celebrating? When people will cast votes and they will write results. What are we celebrating? Where people are dying in hunger, but there is always trillion budgeted. What are we celebrating? Where there is insecurity, people will no longer live in their house with their two eyes closed, but there are security allocations every minute, every year, every month. What type of independence are we celebrating? Where there is no free speech. If you talk, you die. The truth of the matter is that Nigeria, if not that it's not possible for a country that have been independent to be colonized. Nigeria is like a country that deserves to be colonized.
It's not good to celebrate. It's good because it's Nigeria. It's good to celebrate for Independence Day. But the way thing is right now, brother, if you turn the whole display, you will understand a lot of people are complaining. You understand? And they complain that things is not moving at the way it should be. So if you do no need, even though you see someone that even tomorrow now, you'll be surprised that you don't see more people that wear that green white thing. Because the way the Nigeria is now. So the only thing I can say now is maybe they can do something about it, the government to do something about it. Because Nigeria is a very good country that anybody can stay. You understand? So there's no big deal whether someone we are not. The main thing is let them do what they should do.
No good road, electricity foul. No, na tell president to feed us, we no get food in Nigeria.
65-year-old man should be a fulfilled man.
Okay.
When Nigeria at 65, we are still hungry. The common thing, the most common thing, you cannot achieve. You cannot achieve ordinary power. And with that power, the country cannot move. So nothing to celebrate. It's not a politician that are looking money.
Amid the celebrations, Obinna Ibogidi called on political actors in Rivers State to seize the moment and pursue peace for the benefit of the people. He appealed to Governor Siminalayi Fubara to take full responsibility as the father figure of the state, urging him to engage with all relevant stakeholders and work toward reconciliation.
Nigeria 65 for different persons, it holds different meanings. First, as a country, in these last 65 years, we've had moments of triumphs. We've also had moments of very deeply challenging trials. There are many points to also want to pick out in the area of achievements as we celebrate 65 years. Given where we are as a state in Rivers, I want to encourage our beloved governor, Governor Sim Fubara, and of course the House of Assembly to, as a matter of urgency. We don't really want to know what the issues are, because in 2023 they went around these states and presented themselves to the suffering Rivers people and promised to improve on their life. They promised to take these states to the next level. They took an oath to take actions that are going to better us, that will protect us, and they are going to challenge the resources that are accrued to this state, to avenues, to projects, to policies, to ideals that are going to make this place better than they met it. We have not seen that to have happen so far. So we want to ask, as quickly as possible, to jettison whatever differences there might be at personal level, because by virtue of the offices that they are occupying, it is not beyond them, it's beyond him as Sim Fubara. The Sim Fubara that is from Okobo is different from the Sim Fubara as the executive governor of Rivers State. He must rise up to take the responsibility as the father of this state. Yes, we recognize the roles played by other extremely insignificant and important leaders, that Chief Ian Wike, who was also a former governor here, but the current governor of this state is Sim Fubara, and he must do the needful. He must reach out to those who he needs to reach out to make sure that every single person is on the same page at this point, to resolve whatever differences are remaining, so that we can urgently begin to turn attention to issues that have to do with development. Rivers State has suffered enough. The people have paid more than enough price for issues that it does not concern them. They are not politicians. They just want for governance. They just want for the resources that are to this state to be able to trickle down to such a level that they're able to access healthcare, they're able to access good road, they're able to access jobs, they're able to live lives, that things that will make their lives easy going forward.
Action. As Nigeria marked its 65th independence anniversary on Wednesday, the Social Democratic Party's 2023 presidential candidate, Prince Adewale Adebayo, warned that the nation cannot prosper while millions of its citizens remain trapped in poverty and fear. In a statement issued in Abuja to commemorate the day, Adebayo said the country's promise of greatness would remain unfulfilled unless urgent action were taken to confront insecurity, hunger, and corruption. He noted that no nation can prosper while its people live in fear, insisting that peace is not optional as it remains the precondition for progress, the anchor of the prosperity and the oxygen of national renewal. Adebayo recalled the vision and lofty dreams of the nation's founding fathers, noting that the reality for many Nigerians stands in sharp contrast to the projected vision. He lamented that 63% of citizens are classified by the National Bureau of Statistics as multidimensionally poor, with 1 in 3 lives below the World Bank's poverty line of $2.15 per day, and over 31 million are facing acute food insecurity. On insecurity, Adebayo warned that banditry, insurgency, and communal violence had displaced more than 2.3 million Nigerians by the end of 2024, according to the United Nations data. A former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has warned that the scale of killings and bloodshed in northern Nigeria has placed the region under a spiritual curse, stressing that the crisis must now be treated as a national emergency. Dogara, who spoke during a panel session at the Nigerian Investment and Industrialization Summit, organized by the Northern Elders Forum in Abuja, said the situation had gone beyond ordinary socio-political concerns. He lamented that insecurity and poverty in the region had reached catastrophic levels, warning that Nigeria's overall progress would remain stalled unless urgent steps were taken to address the crisis. The former speaker advised the northern leaders and citizens to abandon a culture of dependence on external solutions and instead take charge of their own destiny. He said they should depart from doing business as usual and embrace radical transformative action and take their destiny into their hands. An acceptable constitution that meets the demands of a modern federation has been a major challenge in Nigeria's journey to nationhood. The effort by the legislature to provide such a constitution is what correspondent Chimeze Nzedimma takes up in this special report.
Nigeria has made two sincere efforts to fix its post-Civil War disjointed federation. The 1979 constitution, which brought back civil rule, was a betrayal of we, the people. It was a document put together to put Nigeria's resources and governance structure in the hands of those who won the war. As civilians began to make an effort to return to an inclusive federal government, the military with the prompting of all democratic structures, the faulty constitution was suspended altogether. In the course of a very prolonged military rule, General Sani Abacha calculated that Nigeria needed a stable federation. He empaneled a constituent assembly charged with drawing up a new constitution. He told the members that there were no-go areas, and that constituent assembly was representative of Nigeria's various political, ethnic, religious, professional and trade interests, produced what they considered a people's document. That document was to be Nigeria's new constitution, to usher in a new democratic order before General Abacha died. Under General Abdulsalami Abubakar, the same interests that foisted the post-Civil War constitution hijacked the process that inaugurated the 1999 constitution, which many Nigerians regard as a fraud.
I was also part of the constitutional conference set by Abacha, the 1979 constitution. We brought in a democracy. We are supposed to be government by the people, for the people. We did not, that's not the constitution I took part in producing, which we handed to Abacha. All right, at my age, I have to speak the truth. It's not it. And for somebody to go and change it and call it the product of the people is a fraud. It's fraudulent. And that's why we keep on patching it. There's a limit. You cannot patch a tongue cloth and produce a new one. We need a new constitution.
The complaint we are having now is that this constitution is not our own. We don't make it. I have asserted that I have not disputed it. All the complaint that is arising as a result of this constitution is a product of the constitution imposed on us in 1966 by the military Muslims. They have not disputed that. And they now ask us to go amend the constitution through a parliament, which is a product of the fraud. To amend the fraud, you see the logicality? The National Assembly they are going about now is a fruitless exercise. It's a product of the constitution we are complaining about. Absalom has told us that he just put it on us. And we say the constitution we are talking about is go back to where we started. The constitution we had as independent agreed to by Saudana of Sokoto, Dr. Zikwe, Shobafemi Awolowo.
Since 1999, the Nigerian National Assembly has made 3 attempts to cure the 1999 of its many deformities. Previous attempts before the current constitution amendment efforts only achieved one thing: raise hopes and expectations and dash them and waste public resources. The current 10th National Assembly says the delay in amending the constitution to a people's document is a reform denied.
Nigerians are wary of constitutional reforms that drag on for years, losing momentum and eroding public trust. We recognize that after the National Assembly votes on these bills, the state houses of assembly must also consider and approve them under Section 9 of the Constitution. To honor this requirement, we have set clear timelines. We intend to vote on the proposals expeditiously and to transmit them promptly to the State House of Assembly so that concurrence can be secured within the current legislative session. Reform delayed is reform denied, and Nigerians deserve clarity and closure. By acting decisively, we give states enough time to debate, to deliberate, and endorse the people's will without the pressure of electoral calendars or political distractions.
The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Okezie Kalu, says current effort to amend the Constitution has enjoyed the widest constitution in such efforts, and all the issues brought for public hearing at an open forum in Abuja were amendments being canvassed by the Nigerian people.
These are, at this stage, proposals, suggestions, and ideas that have emerged through one of the most inclusive and participatory exercises in Nigeria's constitutional history. Importantly, these proposals do not simply represent the agenda of the legislature. Instead, they are, first and foremost, the thought-out demands, hopes, and memoranda of the Nigerian people themselves, gathered through extensive regional dialogues and topically focused public hearings held across the nation.
The issue raised at the Constitution Open Forum ranged from creation of more states, creation of state police, reserved seats for women in the parliament to reform of the electoral process. In the course of his campaign for the presidency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had promised to restructure the federation. For those who doubt that the president's renewed hope agenda can lead to such restructuring, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, says the current push to amend the Constitution is part of the agenda. He said that every amendment will receive the president's backing because he wants a people's constitution.
The ongoing process of each amendment provides us with yet another golden opportunity to strengthen our institutions, deepen federalism, guarantee fundamental rights, and promote justice, equity, and accountability across all spheres of national life. This engagement is particularly important as it resonates strongly with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, which seeks to enthrone good governance, inclusivity, and sustainable development. The process you are undertaking today is therefore not only about amending legal provisions, it is about giving Nigerians renewed confidence that their voices matter in shaping the future of our democracy.
The big test for the current effort by the legislature to produce a people's constitution lies in the state legislatures, away from the media, primordial and externally manipulated pushback that could make the effort an entertaining circus that again ends in the waste of public resources. The Abuja public hearing drew the right words, whose outcome will be known in a few months. Chimize Izedima reporting for Signature News, Abuja.
Up ahead, police set up special desk to monitor violence in Anambra election. Oji River local government chairman celebrates 1 year in office. Details of these and more after the break.
Nigerians are always praying to God, and prayer to God is never useless. And that as Nigerians keep praying that God will save us from chaos, anarchy, and doom, it will happen. And how it will happen, maybe that's when we will see the hand of God. It can happen with a military coup, but it can also happen with a civilian ruler who suddenly turns things around, decides to turn things around. We shall see.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
Ahead of the November 8th governorship election in Anambra, the State Police Command has established a special desk to document issues relating to politics and election in the state. This was disclosed by the Police Commissioner, Ikeoye Orotugu, during a meeting with the Anambra Peace Mediation Committee held at the police headquarters, Amobia. Correspondent Lawrence Wimo has more on the development.
Anambra State Police Command has established a special desk to document issues relating to politics and election in the state. Commissioner of Police Ikeoye Orotugu disclosed this during a meeting with the Anambra Peace Mediation Committee, a group formed by Impact Development Initiative to promote peace and address potential conflict in the build-up to the governorship election. Addressing the visitors, Orotugu expressed concern over the current state of politics in the state, noting that the level of political enlightenment is still very low. The commissioner explained that the political desk will document every political activities, challenges and problems. He also said the desk will help the command to be better prepared to manage potential flashpoints and ensure a peaceful election process.
As our activities and our messages would have great impact on the rest 50%. So as we go to bed, as we wish and pray that we need peaceful election will not just go by itself. There is no way, because everybody wants to win. And the character of politics and political maneuvering in Nigeria, especially this state.
Secretary of the committee, Ugochi Freeman, who led other members on the visit, briefed the CP on their peace efforts, including the recent peace work to encourage peaceful conduct of election in the state. She emphasized that the committee's primary objective is to promote peaceful election campaigns among all political parties, fostering a calm and stable environment before, during and after the elections.
It is coming on, and all political parties are doing their campaign. We also have seen the heated polity. So our role simply is to ensure there is peace.
A representative of the Christian Association of Nigeria in the committee, Venerable Joseph Nweke, explained that the collaboration between the committee and the police will help address any skirmishes that may arise and mediate to promote a peaceful environment and the election in line with the law. Professor Jajanwanebo from the Institute of Peace and Development Studies, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, warned that a badly managed election could trigger violence with long-lasting consequences. He stressed the importance of proactive conflict management and the need for police to take a leadership position in guiding efforts to ensure a successful outcome.
The state cannot survive without peace. Elections will come and go, but Anambra State will continue to exist. If we run 2025 November election in a catastrophic manner, the outcome of the catastrophe may linger for a very long time. And one thing about conflict is that it's better controlled when you don't wait for it to occur. The idea of this is to lay a foundation for certain kinds of interactions and mediations to ensure that conflict does not erupt. And at the end of the day, both conflict within, conflict without, conflict before and during elections, all these things can be suited in a way that the election will come out very peaceful.
Other speakers, including immediate past Vice President of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Chief Damian Okeko Gene, lauded the police command's performance during the recent senatorial by-election in the state. They expressed optimism that the November 8th governorship election will be even more effectively managed given the proven track record of the State Police Command. Lawrence Wimo, Signature TV News.
The chairman of Oji River Local Government Area, Greg Anya Ogbodike, has expressed gratitude to the people of the area for their unwavering support in his first 1 year in office. At a ceremony to mark the anniversary, He highlighted some notable achievements recorded by the administration to transform the council area. Our correspondent, Ogunne Owalu, has the report.
The Oji River local government area was created in 1976 during the military regime of General Murtala Mohammed under his local government reforms. Since the creation of the local government, many leaders have emerged until the current local government chairman, Greg Anyegbudike. Anyegbudike maintains that his 1 year in office has witnessed significant strides in infrastructure development, agriculture and security. He said the security measures put in place by his administration, including the provision of operational vehicles and installing surveillance cameras to monitor the area, has led to the dismantling of criminals' handouts, creating of a safer environment for residents.
We have been able to improve our security through procurement of security gadgets and equipment, including drones and GPS high-tech coordinating cameras. So what it means is that we are supporting our efforts with technology in security. And we have tried to identify black spots in the local government, and we are on top of it, making sure that they are not weak points from where the local government security is leaking. We have also trained and strengthened the neighborhood watch, the forest guards, to make sure that the staff are up and doing and they are doing what they are supposed to do.
The council, he said, has also taken significant steps to improve sanitation and cleanliness in the area.
We have procured waste bins placed at strategic places to make sure that we improve the culture and attitude of our people towards waste. So what we do now is that we have introduced bagging system in OG, where people are supposed to bag their waste and dispose them properly, so that OG will be a very clean place. We are also providing toilet facilities for the markets to improve water sanitation and hygiene. We have also sunk boreholes in some communities. At least we have sunk 4 or 5 boreholes in some communities. We've done in Ibu, we've done in Enibuaku, to make sure that there is water and sanitation in the market.
The chairman also spoke about his achievements in the education sector aimed at enhancing the quality of education in the area, in addition to the award of scholarship to deserving students from the area.
And as we speak, we have paid for admission fees, but for the obtaining of form for at least 30 Ojiriba indigenes for the School of Health, and at least 6 for the Federal Cooperative College. And we're going to pay for their school fees for this academic year to encourage them to participate. And if resources permit us, we will still continue to pay for their school fees until they get out of the school, as long as this administration is concerned. So apart from that, we have other Ojiriba indigenes that are also in higher institutions doing their masters. So we have disbursed the sum of 200,000 naira to each and every one of them. They are 5 having their masters in University of Science and Technology, and we are giving 5 of them 200,000 naira each to support their education. We will do more. Even our students that are in various higher institutions, I'm happy to tell you today that an Ojiriba indigene is the Student Union Government President of Institute of Management and Technology, IMT. So it's a thing of joy that the local government is identifying with their Ojiriba indigenes and Ojiriba students, to the point that we are happy that one of us has meritoriously earned the SUG president for IMT. Partnership with the Enugu state government, the local government is working very hard to ensure that the 20 smart schools in Ojiriba get everything that they need to start. We are happy to say that some of them have started, some of them are with challenges, but we are constantly surmounting those challenges to make sure that no child is left out of the education platform.
Through strategic planning and community engagement, the local government has been able to touch the lives of the people in the area and promises to do even more going forward. Ugon Nwalo for Signature TV.
Former Democratic Republic of Congo President Joseph Kabila was sentenced to death in absentia on Tuesday by a military court that convicted him of war crimes, treason, and crimes against humanity. The case stems from his alleged role in backing the advance of Rwanda-backed M23 rebels in Congo's volatile east. Kabila, who led Congo from 2001 to 2019, has denied wrongdoing and said the judiciary has been politicized. Lieutenant General Joseph Mutombo Katalai, presiding over the tribunal in Kinshasa, said Kabila was found guilty of charges that included murder, sexual assault, torture, and insurrection. Kabila did not attend the trial and was not represented by legal counsel. Neither he nor his representatives were immediately available for comment. His whereabouts were not immediately known. He was also ordered to pay around $50 billion in various damages to the state and victims. The verdict could fuel further divisions in the vast mineral-rich Central African nation that has endured decades of conflict. Kabila spent almost 2 decades in power and only stepped down after a deadly protest against him. Since late 2023, he has been residing mostly in South Africa, though he did appear in rebel-held Goma in eastern Congo in May. South Africa's ambassador to France was found dead on Tuesday at the foot of the Hyatt Regency Hotel, a high-rise tower in the west of Paris. Ambassador Nkosinathi Emmanuel Methenawa had been reportedly missing by his wife on Monday evening after she received a text message from him that worried her. He had booked a room on the 22nd floor, the prosecutor's office said, adding that a secured window had been forced open. It said an investigation was ongoing and it could not preempt its outcome. A car belonging to the South African diplomatic representation of France was seen parked outside the hotel on Tuesday afternoon. French media, including the Daily Le Parisien, said he was believed to have killed himself. South Africa's Foreign Affairs Department confirmed his death, adding that the circumstances were under investigation by the French authorities. Actor and filmmaker Sadie Frost and lawyers representing Prince Harry and other high-profile British figures' privacy lawsuits against the Daily Mail newspaper's publisher arrived at London's High Court on Wednesday for a case management hearing. Harry, the younger son of King Charles, is one of several claimants, including singer Elton John, actors Elizabeth Hurley and Frost, suing Associated Newspapers (ANL) over allegations of serious privacy breaches dating back 30 years, ranging from tapping their phones and bugging their homes to obtaining medical records by deception. Among those they say were involved are current national newspaper editors and other senior press figures. ANL, which publishes the Daily Mail, the Mail on Sunday, and Mail Online, has denied involvement in unlawful practices and described the lurid claims made by Prince Harry and others as simply preposterous. The full trial is due to begin early 2026. Police stood guard and barriers blocked some roads around Christiansborg's Palace in Copenhagen on Wednesday as the city prepared to host an informal meeting of European Union leaders. The summit is taking place days after airspace intrusions by the unidentified unmanned aircraft forced a temporary closure of Danish airports. EU leaders are set to discuss proposals for a drone wall to protect the continent at the summit. The meeting will also be the first opportunity for leaders of the EU's 27 countries to debate a proposal to use Russian assets frozen in Europe to fund a loan of 140 billion euros to Ukraine. France, Germany, Sweden, Norway, the Netherlands, Britain, Finland, and Ukraine have committed troops and anti-drone systems to help Denmark protect the leaders, many of whom have accused Russia of brazen violations of European airspace with recent incursions by drones over Poland and fighter jets over Estonia. And that's the news this hour. I am Christopher Lele. Thank you for watching.